Have you ever had the sensation that you are on the point of experiencing something truly remarkable, but something continues to prevent you from entering it? Despite the fact that you are aware of your capabilities, your motivation, and your vision, the outcomes do not appear to be in line with your expectations. The reason is not that you are a slacker. There is no reason to believe that you lack talent. The reason behind this is that you are lacking the essential component that transforms our efforts into results. Consistency is crucial. The truth is that achieving success does not require taking a single giant step. It is not possible to rely on chance or spontaneous inspiration. It is about turning up each and every day, even when it is challenging, even when it is boring, and even when it seems as though nothing is happening. Every great accomplishment is the result of a quiet and consistent power that is known as consistency. This is a picture that I will paint for you. What would it be like to put a seed in the ground? In spite of the fact that at first you didn't see anything except dirt, you water it every single day. As the days turn into weeks, there is still no indication that life is present. Many people abandon up because they believe that it is not working. Those individuals, however, who continue to water and who have faith in the process will eventually witness that minuscule sprout breaking through the dirt. The fact that they maintained their consistency allowed that sprout to develop into something robust and beautiful. Your life operates in the same manner. It takes time and attention for the seeds of your dreams to germinate, and persistence is the water that allows them to bear fruit and bloom. A lack of it will cause even the most brilliant ideas to wither away. This was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. Over the course of my life, there was a period in which I was filled with ambition, yet I found myself locked in a cycle of beginning and ending. Whenever I set a lofty objective, I would dive in with a lot of excitement, but then I would lose my concentration when the results did not come quickly enough. I would try to persuade myself that it was not meant to be, or that I was not capable of doing it. Does this sound familiar to you? My realization that my issue was not a lack of talent or ambition, but rather a lack of clarity, was the moment that marked the turning point in my life. Exactly why I was doing it was not entirely evident to me. When things got difficult, it was far too simple for me to give up, since I did not have a purpose that actually meant to me. In the moment that I uncovered my more profound mission, everything shifted. I would want to discuss the first principle, which is the clarity of purpose. It is essential to have a compelling why if you wish to maintain consistency. A purpose that is so powerful that it propels you ahead even on the most difficult days, rather than a reason that is nebulous. The why behind your actions is what elevates them from a mere set of responsibilities to something that has significance. It is the fuel that keeps you going when the enthusiasm wears off, or when life presents you with challenges that you did not anticipate. Now, how do you go about discovering your why? What I want you to do is take a moment to give yourself some time to reflect and ask yourself some questions that are very important. What is it that I actually want to accomplish, and why is it important that I do so? For the first time, what will it be like to have finally achieved this? What aspects of my life will shift if I am successful? Who else will be able to profit from my accomplishments? Your why does not have to be anything that is difficult to understand, but it must be compelling. One possible explanation is that you want to make a better future for your family. It's possible that you want to demonstrate to yourself that you are capable of overcoming obstacles. Also, perhaps it is about leaving a legacy that has an effect on other people. No matter what it is, allow it to ignite a fire within you. Please allow it to serve as a reminder that the goal you are striving toward is more significant than any temporary impediment. I will explain why this is of such great importance. You will be put to the test by life. Your feelings of exhaustion, frustration, and uncertainty are going to be present on certain days. There are times when it seems like development is taking a long time, and the temptation to give up is strong. If you do not have a why that is sufficiently compelling, then those moments will cause you to veer off course. On the other hand, when your goal is crystal clear and has a profound significance. It becomes your anchor. Regardless of how turbulent the seas become, it maintains your equilibrium. To put this into effect, let's get started. Discovering your purpose is not merely a task. Rather, it serves as the basis for all that you are going to construct in the future. Spend some time thinking about and writing down your why today. Do not be vague. Experience it. When you wake up in the morning, let it to motivate you. And when you go to bed at night, allow it to remind you of the reason you are putting in the effort. You are the first step toward becoming the person you have always knew you have the potential to be. And your why is the starting point for this journey. Having that level of clarity makes consistency a natural occurrence, mostly due to the fact that when you are motivated by a mission, showing up is not a burden, but rather a privilege. The power is in your hands at this moment. This is the point at which your trip starts. Not by significant jumps, but rather through a solid basis. Discover your why, allow it to direct you, and observe how your life is transformed as a result of your consistency. You have everything you need to be successful. The only question that remains is whether or not you are prepared to begin. The importance of accountability as a transformational force is the subject of the second fundamental principle. If we are being completely honest, one of the most challenging aspects of maintaining consistency is the ease with which one may let themselves off the hook. We justify our actions by making excuses, rationalizing them, and convincing ourselves that it is acceptable to skip that workout, delay that project, or put off that challenging chore. However, when accountability is introduced into the situation, that is, when you make a promise to someone or something that is not within your own control, it becomes significantly more difficult to fall back into those old habits of avoidance. On the other hand, accountability does not imply that you have to announce your objectives to everyone you come in contact with, or that you have to shout them from the rooftops. Having an excessive number of voices can, in fact, result in unneeded diversions, criticism, or advice that you did not specifically want. Rather than that, you should concentrate on constructing a small group of reliable accountability partners. Someone who understands your objectives and is sincerely invested in your success could be a mentor, a coach, or a group of friends who share your values and are committed to your success. When you start to waver in your obligations, these are the people who will remind you of your promises, call you out when you are making excuses, and applaud you on when you make progress. They will assist you in maintaining your course even when the road becomes difficult. Due to the fact that it provides an additional layer of motivation and pressure from the outside, this kind of honest and supportive accountability may make a world of difference in terms of keeping you moving forward. Have you ever considered the fact that when you are simply accountable to yourself, it is simple to let things slip away? It is far more likely that you will keep to your plans if you have someone else who is invested in your path, someone who will check in with you, and someone who will hold you accountable for your word. Consequently, the next step is to take a minute to determine who you can include in your circle of accountability. The person could be a personal friend, a member of the family, or even a mentor in the professional world. The most important thing is to locate people who have faith in you and will assist you in maintaining the high standards that you have established for yourself. In the third principle, the focus is on taking actions that are both consistent and intentional. It is one thing to make plans and fantasize about what you want to do, but the only way to make genuine progress is to take steps toward achieving your goals on a daily basis. When it comes to consistency, it is not about making significant and dramatic efforts. Rather, it is about showing up day after day and doing the work, even when it is difficult, even when you don't feel like it, and even when the rewards are no longer immediate. On the other hand, let's face it, taking action is not sufficient on its own. You are going to require a system. When life throws curveballs at you, having a system provides you with structure, a plan to follow, and a way to continue moving forward despite the challenges you face. You are relying only on your own willpower if you do not have a system, which is a recipe for feelings of exhaustion. The first step in developing a system is to determine which of your activities are the most essential to you and then include them into your daily routine. Perhaps it's devoting the first hour of your morning to the thing that is most important to you, or perhaps it's setting aside some time in the evening to think about the day ahead and make plans for it. It doesn't matter what it is, make it non-negotiable. You should guard that time with the same ferocity that you would guard a meeting with your boss or an appointment with the doctor. The next stage is to divide your objectives into more doable sub-goals. It is less probable that you will take action if your objective appears to be too difficult to achieve. On the other hand, if you break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks, each step will feel more attainable, and progress will be unavoidable. In addition to this, you should make sure that you are staying on track by conducting regular check-ins, either with your accountability group or using a straightforward habit tracker. In addition, this is when the magic happens, when your behaviors become habits because they are consistent. The ability to make decisions with little effort is one of the reasons why habits are so powerful. If you make something a regular part of your routine, such as brushing your teeth or preparing your daily coffee, it will no longer feel like a chore and will instead feel like something that you do automatically. Exactly at that moment, consistency begins to take hold. The question now is, how can you establish behaviors that are long-lasting? Take baby steps. Pay attention to just one or two of the most important behaviors at a time. Always maintain a consistent routine, even if it's only for 5 minutes every day. Additionally, it is essential to rejoice in your victories. The habit is strengthened with each incremental victory, which in turn drives you to keep going. Unpredictability is an inevitable part of life, and it will always present you with obstacles and distractions. On the other hand, if you have responsibility, a system that is rock solid, and habits that work for you, you will have the resources to remain consistent regardless of the circumstances. What about that consistency? The basis for genuine and long-term success is found in this. Please allow me to share with you a strong 3-step technique that has the potential to totally revolutionize the way in which you approach routine and discipline. Not only is it easy to use, but it is also highly effective, and it is designed to make it possible for you to achieve and maintain your goals. Number 1, begin with a small amount. You should not attempt to completely reimagine your life in a single day. Changes that are significant and far-reaching can result in feelings of exhaustion or overwhelm. Rather than that, you should concentrate on 1 or 2 little behaviors that are meaningful and that you can commit to immediately. You may, for example, devote 10 minutes of your morning to the activity that is most important to you. Or you could go for a short stroll during your lunch break. Over time, momentum can be created through the maintenance of these manageable, tiny actions that are easy to keep. How does this come to pass? Due to the fact that success generates success, your self-assurance will increase with each minor victory, and you will be more convinced that you are capable of achieving your objectives. In the long run, these seemingly insignificant efforts will add up to great advancements. Make it easy is the second step. When you have an easier time carrying out a routine, you are more likely to be able to maintain that routine over time. Getting rid of impediments and putting yourself in a position to succeed is what this means. You should have your book or e-reader ready on your nightstand if you intend to read for 20 minutes before the time you go to bed. It is recommended that you lay out your gym clothes the night before if your objective is to work out in the morning. Getting rid of as much friction as possible is the most important thing. When there is a straightforward and uncomplicated way to take action, there is less opportunity for making excuses. Consider this stage to be the process of removing the obstacles that are in the way of achieving your objectives. It is possible to boost the likelihood of success by making even minor adjustments to your routines in order to streamline them. In the third step, you will stack your habits. Creating new routines that are connected to routines that you currently have is one of the most effective methods to establish consistency. Habit stacking is a strategy that makes use of pre-existing behaviors as a means of triggering the development of new behaviors. If you have a morning routine that involves drinking coffee, for instance, you may combine that with 5 minutes of journaling or meditation. You should make use of the time you spend walking your dog every evening to listen to an audiobook or podcast that will inspire you. The creation of a seamless flow in your everyday routine is accomplished through the stacking of habits. The new routines build upon the previous ones, resulting in a sense of effortlessness and naturalness during the course of time. Your day-to-day activities will become a rich field for growth and production if you implement this technique. Creating a framework that naturally supports consistency can be accomplished by beginning with a tiny step, making it easy and stacking your individual habits. After some time has passed, these routines will eventually become second nature, and the effort that you put in today will lead to significant outcomes tomorrow. When it comes to consistency, the challenge is the out. Allow me to be completely forthright with you. Establishing this level of consistency is not going to be an easy task all the time. There are going to be obstacles. On certain days, you will experience feelings of lack of motivation, discouragement, or the temptation to give up. It is not unusual. It is a natural part of the journey. In order to do anything worthwhile in life, you will need to overcome any discomfort you may be experiencing, face any uncertainties you may have, and persevere through challenging situations. However, here's the thing. When you make a commitment to showing up, even when it's difficult, you unlock a level of resolve and resilience that the majority of people never have the opportunity to access. So that's where all the magic takes place. The moment that this occurs, consistency goes from being a challenge to becoming a superpower. The power of commitment is discussed in Just try to picture what it would be like to finally accomplish the objective that you have been working for. In order to liberate yourself from the routines and patterns that have been holding you back for such a long time. In order to feel the pride and self-assurance that comes from knowing that you have consistently shown up for yourself, regardless of the circumstances, day after day. There is no such thing as a fantasy. You are completely capable of achieving that transformation. The first step is to make a decision. A determination to stop making excuses, to stop allowing distractions to derail you, and to commit oneself totally to the task. As soon as you make that choice, you enter a version of yourself that is capable of accomplishing great things. The things that are awaiting you on the oncoming side. I am aware that this is effective since I have personally experienced it. There were times when I questioned my capacity to maintain consistency, to overcome opposition, and to break free from my old routines. Everything changed, however, when I made the decision to commit to anything, when I made the decision to be disciplined and consistent. In spite of my doubts, I was able to accomplish my aims. I was able to establish a successful career, write books, travel extensively, and motivate a great number of people. My will to show up each and every day, regardless of how I was feeling, was the one thing that remained the same throughout everything. That's the power that comes from reliability. In other words, it is the cornerstone of personal development, achievement, and satisfaction. It is the crucial component that differentiates those who dream from those who actually accomplish their goals. And what is the most exciting part? There is no one who cannot access it, including yourself. The time has come for you to act. I would like to ask you, my dear friends, are you prepared to enter into that commitment? Are you prepared to quit allowing excuses and distractions to prevent you from achieving your goals? Are you prepared to accept the discomfort, to push through the obstacles, and to continuously show up for the dreams you have? For the simple reason that the world is in need of individuals like you, those who are prepared to put in the effort, to set an example for others, and to bring about the kind of change that will last, which is something that we all require. Together, let's make a commitment to maintaining consistency. Let's congratulate one another on our victories, encourage one another, and keep one another accountable for our actions. The only limitations we are confronted with are those that we impose upon ourselves. And when we push ourselves beyond those boundaries, when we make it a point to show up each and every day, we open ourselves up to a degree of possibility that we were previously unaware even existed. The future is yours. to take whatever you see fit. Take baby steps. Put an end to it. Consolidate your routines. Continue to show up, which is the most important thing. My friends, let's get to work because the greatest is yet to come.